One of the things we need to understand is how electric companies charge for the electric potential energy that we end up using in our homes. So first off, let's realize that at home I've listed a few things here, but we use a bunch of devices that require energy in order to operate. And based on the ones I've listed here, again, we need to realize that there's energy associated with these. So if it's a television, you're producing light and sound. If it's a treadmill, you're producing kinetic energy. Microwaves are producing radiation. Ovens utilize thermal energy, so on and so forth. So conservation of energy says, I can't just get this energy from nowhere. It must come from somewhere else. So the electric companies provide electric potential energy, and then these different devices convert that electric energy into whatever form that device utilizes specifically. So the big thing here is it's energy. So it's energy consumption. We've all heard that term before, renewable energy. So we're buying energy from these electric companies, and they provide the electrical energy we need that we then convert into other forms. So the thing we have to understand that most people are not familiar with is the unit that power companies charge in. They charge per what is called a kilowatt hour, not a kilowatt per hour. That is a common misconception. It is a kilowatt hour, which is a kilowatt times or multiplied by the hours used, not kilowatts divided by hours used. All right, so the typical cost in general, it's going to depend on the area you live in, but it's somewhere around 10 cents per kilowatt hour, which doesn't seem like a lot, but we'll see in a few examples how that can add up fairly quickly. And that's likely why our parents are always yelling at us to turn off lights and televisions and things when not in use. So the general idea, and then we'll go into some examples. The general idea, if you'd like to calculate the cost of electric power, number one, calculate the power output or determine the power output of the device. Step two is going to be to convert that power output, which will be in watts, into kilowatts. And there's 1,000 watts per kilowatt, so we divide by 1,000, we can convert from watts to kilowatts. We then now have kilowatts, but we need to get to kilowatt hours, so therefore we need to multiply by the number of hours utilized. So once we know the power output in kilowatts, by multiplying it by the hours, or the amount of time used in hours, we get the kilowatt hour unit that the power companies charge in. And once we know that, then we simply multiply that by whatever the cost per kilowatt hour is from that local power company. That's the basic idea. You can work this in either direction, going from power output to the cost, or working backwards from the total cost back to the power output. You can go in either direction, but make sure you have these 4 steps listed, and we'll look at a few examples so you can see how these 4 steps can be applied to determine how much this energy is going to cost us based on use.